look into my eyes, this topic is very dear to my heart. Why? Most families have lost properties in a form of collateral security to a bank. Just right now, as I'm talking to you, as I'm sharing this podcast with you, family feud. People are arguing among themselves because family property had been pledged for a bank loan that the whole family didn't benefit from the bank loan, but rather one individual who lost the properties. Collateral security is something that usually the bank would ask of when they are granting you loan. It's a fallback situation for the bank. And therefore, once they are granting you other people's money, they want to fall back just in case you cannot service the debt. So they would always ask you for collateral security. It's natural. There's nothing wrong about that. It is only when that security that you are sending is yours and you are also the beneficiary of the loan. And therefore, if you're unable to pay and they've taken your property, so be it. Nobody will cry. But the painful bit is that those who are really the beneficiaries are not the owners of the property that has been used. And that's where the question is asked. Why would you use a family property documentation, to go and pledge a loan to the bank without sharing the proceeds or the information or whatever it is with the family members? Up to date, when you go to our local meetings and policies, traditional councils and the courts and things like that, these issues are there. Per the new rules, which is, when I say new rules, it's an act that has been passed way back. And I'm referring to Act 1052. That is the Borrowers and Lenders Act 2020. Specifically, this act talks about Collateral Security Registry, which is being managed and controlled by Bank of Ghana. For every asset that you take to the bank have to register it as Collateral Security Registry. I would encourage you, if you're not too sure, to go and do a search at Collateral Security Registry, Bank of Ghana, to make sure that at least your family property has not been mortgaged or has not been pledged against a loan that you may not be aware. Do that search and be comfortable with it. Because once it's pledged and once it is registered, whoever registered it, I'm talking about the bank or the lender, has first right to sell the property within 30 days once the letter comes through. Before you go to the court and seek that, they got it wrong, it is not for him, it is not for the business, it's not for this, but it is for this. Sometimes if you are not careful, by the time they finish the case at the court, you would have lost quite a bit of time and money. So let's avoid it. If you really want to use the family properties documentation-wise to secure a loan, please have a discussion about it. And when the time elapses, inform them so that they are aware. Because there's some sentimental value associated with the family property especially. If it's yours, no qualms about that. I did today's topic because of what happened last week on a visit to an area that I usually hang out. We got there and the bank had pasted something there which reads that yes, the loan had not been serviced, and therefore the bank is selling your property to retrieve whatever has been locked in. An old lady who was then relaxing in the house, I think he came out to the market, or some persons came to visit. He turned his head and looked at it and said, I have not used this property to go and mortgage for any loan. Phone calls buzzing left and right. It turns out that her grandnephew had used the papers without her consent, and it created more problem. Grandma collapsed and was rushed to the nearby clinic. She survived though, but tomorrow, maybe when it's your turn, you may not be able to survive because the shock will push you down. And I don't want you to have any shock. Nobody wants any shock, because somebody took your property, family property, to use as a pledge for a loan that he alone knows what he's using the money for. The takeaway for me here is that let the person, if he has informed you that he's going to use the phone, but let him bring the condition of the loan so that collectively we can all read it together and make some input. Very important. Naturally, they would have the bank there, they will register it at the Collateral Security Registry. Now, if you receive, assuming legitimately you are aware and you receive the notification of default, then you must always take practical steps. Maybe some negotiation can be, arranged with the bank. Yeah? You can do some negotiation. As soon as you receive the notification of default, then you have to act, else they will sell your property and you'll be shocked. Let's do business in such a way that collateral security will become a thing of the past. Let's structure our businesses that banks may not necessarily come in for collateral security, because banks are coming in to fund transaction, not to fund properties. There are those who are funding properties. That's a different thing altogether. Banks will fund your transactions. And therefore, if your transactions are there and you have arranged to look at the flow of the transaction and the places that has risk attached to it, then you can restructure it by either doing insurance or whatever it is, so that you avoid the collateral security, because the banks are not in the business to sell properties of yours. But it is because it's not your property. You don't own it. It's a family property, and then you have problems. Till I catch up with you on the flip side, please subscribe, like, and share, especially your family members. This topic is there. Subscribe, like, and share. And I'll see you next week. Take care and keep your hands off family properties.